Hi, Steve here. I want to talk about a subject that isn't getting a lot of attention, but there's more going on than all the immigrants and false flag bomb attacks on Democrats. Globalists and the elites who think they own the world are conspiring to bring down America's dollar and derail the national populism that's sweeping the country. We see the actual invasion from Central America as we approach the midterm elections in America, and we're all diverted to focus our attention on these so-called bombs that were sent to leading Democrat personalities. But while our attention is all focused on these things, the globalists and the New World Order are planning our downfall in another major area. Their goal? All paper currencies must be destroyed. Today, all currencies on the planet are fiat, debt-ridden currencies that are under the control of the central banks, answerable only to the Bank of International Settlements, i.e. the Rothschilds. This is true except for the American petrodollar, which has enjoyed some backing through being the world's reserve currency. But now, the dollar is slated for execution, and its executioner is the Federal Reserve. President Trump has given America a temporary respite, but he can't overturn the global system of banking. If you believe the globalists from what they've already said, then you know they have three major goals as expressed in writing by many of their members. Reduce the global population by 90%. Ted Turner, the founder of CNN, he said that in a 1997 Audubon magazine article. Establish a one-world government. This is being accomplished by the 600 million UN-sponsored immigrants that are overrunning the top 7 Western nations. The goal is to replace all national currencies with a world currency, and then eventually a cashless society. In order to bring about a global currency, the United States dollar must be destroyed. And at the center of this plot is the Federal Reserve. Why would the Federal Reserve agree to destroy their own creation? The answer is simple. They'll have a larger role in global currency wealth and decision-making in the new global system. The planned collapse of the American economy through the destruction of the dollar begins and ends with the Federal Reserve. These support mechanisms, their allies, are the BRICS, who've already aligned against the American petrodollar. The Federal Reserve is not opposed to the BRICS. BRICS is the acronym, in case you don't know what it is. It just means it's the association of 5 major emerging national economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All are members of G20 as well. The conflict is a facade, as they're both working to destroy the dollar. The Federal Reserve and elite bankers are merely using the BRICS to help bring down the value by lessening the value of the petrodollar. And just like Hitler's brown shirts, the BRICS will be destroyed in the coming global war, which will be waged against all national currencies and any population expressing a desire to join Trump's growing brand of international populism, sovereignty, and national determinism. China recently sold off $3 billion in US dollar bonds. And Russia, China, Japan, Turkey, Iran, and Iraq have all ditched the dollar in a bilateral trade with each other. Being that Japan is such a close ally of the US, their sudden move to ditch the dollar too came as a surprise. And the EU ended its use of the dollar when trading with Iran in order to circumvent US sanctions. These moves are symbolic of the world turning on the US because of Trump's aggressive economic policies. Previous globalist presidents sacrificed the welfare of American workers in favor of free trade agreements, which President Trump has abandoned, in favor of keeping American manufacturing at home inside the United States. The result has been job growth and personal income gains. But our foreign counterparts are angry that we've stopped supporting their failing economies and the world is involved in a plot to destroy the U.S. economy. If the U.S. economy fails, though, the world's economy will collapse too. And that is precisely the goal of the globalists. Through the international abandonment of the petrodollar, the United States, the lone remaining value-backed currency, will lose its dollar and become worthless. This is a necessary step in creating a new world order. Except bringing down the American economy is not an easy task and requires manipulation on the inside as well. That's where the deep state shadow government within our government comes in. The Federal Reserve is purposely destroying itself. Why? Remember, the goal is globalism, not the preservation of the dollar. The Federal Reserve has planned their escape. If the Federal Reserve was interested in saving their precious dollar, wouldn't they bolster the dollar and not plan an escape to its main competitor, cryptocurrency? Yet, this is exactly what the Federal Reserve is planning to do. They're going to operate in cryptocurrency and gold when the collapse comes. The Federal Reserve plans to have a cryptocurrency system, and their spokesman, Sean Rodriguez, announced the coming transformation of our nation's payment system is set for 2020 under the faster payment environment. The Federal Reserve is endorsing the AML Bitcoin that is compliant with the Patriot Act and biometric identification. Can you see where this is all going? If the Federal Reserve was going to save the dollar in its present form, why would they raise interest rates on the dollar in a time of peak economic gain, including very low inflation? But that's exactly what they're doing. And it's drawn the anger of President Trump. He knows what's happening. And in what year is the Federal Reserve escaping to gold and crypto? The announced year is 2020. The time to crash the economy is in 2019 and get Trump defeated in the 2020 election. Populism will officially die in November of 2020 under this plot. The destruction of the home industry is the key to bringing down the dollar. The American people have been ripped off and are going to be ripped off by the bankers again. Remember the MERS, the MERS mortgage fraud, where millions of homes were stolen because mortgage holders paid the wrong title company, because their note had been sold so many times that nobody even knew who really owned the note to our homes? This is still going on today. It's just not covered in the mainstream media. And let's not forget about the Federal Reserve that spent years buying up mortgage-backed securities to the tune of $40 billion a month. And that money was obtained from printing money out of thin air, which made our money worth even less. This buffered the Federal Reserve against losses in the home market. The same strategies are at work again. Very soon, our money will be worthless. On November 16, 2014, the G20 nations declared your bank account to not be money. That's right. Therefore, your FDIC insurance is invalid, and your bank account, when seized, will go to pay the derivatives debt. The home mortgage bundling, which led to the credit swap derivatives, crashed the economy in 2008 and 9. It's happening again, and for the same exact reasons. Rising interest rates are quickening the process, and coupled with rising Federal Reserve interest rates, the results are going to prove catastrophic again. We didn't learn anything from the 2008 crash, did we? The Boston Herald reported U.S. home sales fell for the 6th straight month in September 2018, a sign that housing has become a weak spot for the economy. History is repeating itself. Rising interest rates have killed the economic recovery, and home mortgage business is once again headed for life support. America can never fully recover. We're fighting just to tread water. Derivatives are not stocks or bonds or anything of tangible value, and this typifies the bundling of home mortgages into credit swap derivatives. The value of a derivative is technically viewed as anticipated future value. So derivatives have no real value. But the thing is, a derivatives transaction has to have the backing of a financial institution like a brokerage or a bank. The assets used to back up and collateralize the worthless derivatives are real and substantial. When the derivatives market crashed, it took down hard assets of tangible value. So basically, the economy had foolishly or stupidly used something in order to back up nothing. And the something is now in the total control of the central bankers. To cover the losses of the too big to fail entities, the bailouts were initiated in what constituted the largest wealth transfer in world history. This is the ultimate money game in which paper derived from other paper, like futures and options, has served to bolster the balance sheets on Wall Street. It's estimated that total derivative exposure of the financial system is 1.5 quadrillion. Yeah, I said quadrillion. The American middle class, through the bailouts, were previously asked to bear the burden of the entire derivatives market collapse, which totaled over 16 times the net value of the entire planet. No amount of bailouts can ever cover the loss. Bailouts are not in our future again. That's because there's no planned recovery following the next crash. This is the bankers' way of transferring what's left of middle-class wealth before the final collapse. This is the final garage sale on the economy. When the housing market collapsed in 2008, this is what led to the crash. It's happening again as home sales have declined for the 7th straight month thanks to a series of increases in the interest rates by the Federal Reserve. If President Trump was truly going to save America, he would seize the Fed today. Today. Unfortunately, if he did that, he wouldn't survive the next morning. The bankers are laughing at us. While the bankers are laughing at us, I can hear the sheep saying, "Oh, that will never happen here. You're a conspiracy theorist, Steve. You're a fear-mongerer." At the same time, the bankers are rolling on the floor laughing at our stupidity. When the Titanic was sinking, who did they save? They saved the 70% of the wealthy as they got into the lifeboats, while the coach passengers were locked into steerage, where only 10% of those poor people survived. This is exactly what's going on now. The government didn't bail out small business owners. They didn't bail out pension holders and the average investor in the 2008 crash. And the same thing's going to happen today. The elites were only bailing out their rich friends of the international bankers. The rest of us are locked into middle-class steerage. Some people are advising for you to get your money out of the bank. Cash in your 401k or your pension. Some people are saying buy gold. The game is almost over, and you only have time to jump from this sinking ship. There's a price for our uneducated ignorance, and it's called enslavement. What you don't know will hurt you. Think about it. I just wanted to take a minute to say a very, very sincere thank you to all of you who support Think About It. I would not be able to do this without your help and your support. So consider yourself just as much a part of what I'm doing as me doing what I'm doing. We're in this together, and as long as I'm able, I will stay on the platforms I'm on until the time comes when I'm removed. I want to remind you of the websites at thinkaboutit.online and thinkaboutit.news. These are our websites, and if all else fails, hopefully we'll still be able to communicate through these websites. Just about 30% of all my YouTube videos are automatically demonetized, and they're demonetized before I even publish them. So what that means is that as soon as they're uploaded to YouTube, their algorithms analyze the videos and determine whether or not they're advertiser friendly. Obviously, they don't think a third of my videos are. And for people that can't handle the truth or don't want to hear the truth, they're probably right. I shared with you before about another video platform that I'm uploading to. Because of legal challenges and potential lawsuits and battles later on, they've changed their name from Real Video to brighteon.com. The link to the channel is below in the description box, as well as all the other links to everything else. If you're looking for 100% quality natural health products, please visit the thinkaboutit.news or thinkaboutit.online websites and take advantage of any of these products that you believe will be of benefit to you and your family. Okay, that's really all I need to say, except I want you to know how much I appreciate all of you. Sometimes I get an email from someone who says, I really want to help, but I don't have any money. I don't want you to feel bad because you can't afford to support me. Instead, you can support me by sharing the videos with your friends and family. I've said it before in the past, and I want to say it again. I do not want anyone sacrificing out of their family budget and their needs to support me. I believe there are enough people that can easily afford to help me and believe in getting the truth out on a consistent basis. We're all on this earth together at this time, and we should all be doing what we can at whatever level we can to get the truth out. None of us know what tomorrow will bring, but if we're ready to face tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate you. And I pray God's best for you and your family.